Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television.
Football's regular season has concluded, and the postseason is upon us. And tonight, Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week has traveled to the furthermost southern boundary of Sacramento for this evening's opening round playoff action from Sheldon High School as the host Huskies take on the visiting Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack tonight on the game of the week. Good evening and welcome to the Sheldon Pleasant Grove Community Stadium here at Sheldon High, and tonight a very intriguing matchup. I'm Will James along with the Imperator of Analysis, Jim Domino. We've got two very well coached ball clubs and a provocative matchup with a CBC power and a Delta League power.
Well, I think it's a great matchup. We got a great night, little to no wind, no rain, just a perfect fall night for football. And yes, both these coaches have a lot of experience coming in. Coach Milgram has been with his ball club 4 times to the playoffs. And of course, Coach Catolico's record speaks for itself. And between coaching at Sheldon and previously coaching at a previous high school, why he's been there 9 out of the last 10 times in the playoffs. So they're very experienced playoff coaches, Will.
Certainly, that's an understatement. Quality coaching staffs. And tonight, we're going to take a look at postseason action, week 11. This is when the pressure really starts to mount. But let's take a look at the last time these teams met. There's only a short history between the two squads, just 2 games over the years. And the last one, as you can see, all right, let's go to that one, the last outings.
Well, as we looked at the last outings, Cosumnes Oaks took care of Ponderosa and had no problems. Quarterback Frierson had thrown for 3 touchdown passes and ran for a 4th. The Wolfpack rolled up 441 yards with no problem hitting the Bruins. And while they were doing that, Sheldon went over to Elk Grove and took care of business. Their ground game was rolling along for 7 rushing touchdowns, handling the herd 56-20 at Elk Grove.
Well, 2 convincing victories there. And the last meeting, as we see here, just a year ago. And in that game, Jim, both teams scored a touchdown per quarter. But as you can see, it came down to special teams efficiency.
Well, yes, Sheldon prevailed 28-26, and their PATs meant a big difference. The Wolfpack rushed for over 300 yards, but missed PATs were the difference, and the Huskies came away edging the pack 28-26.
Well, in tonight's matchup, both host coach Joe Catolico and visiting coach Derek Milgren will rely heavily on the impact players, the ones that got him here. Both teams are on a 3-game winning streak coming into the playoffs. They will need top performances by the impact players, beginning with the Wolfpack leaders.
Well, let's start with Jacob Track. He's had a tremendous year, great career going for many yards this season. He's just under 1,000 yards, 949, 7 TDs, and he's a threat as a running back and a receiver. Larry Frierson is coming on strong the last couple of ball games. Had a rough midseason, but he's got 1279, 17 touchdowns. Dakota Van Dyke, one of the tackle leaders in the entire Sacramento area with 141 tackles and 4.5 sacks. Nick Craig A senior defensive back and wide receiver, has 53 tackles, 2 picks, and he's also an outstanding receiver with 319 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, on the flip side, Sheldon head coach Joe Catolico will counter with his Huskies headliners, and tonight those players will continue to bear the burden to lead the way.
Well, let's start out with running back number 8, Tyrell Smith. Had a great year, a young junior, has 863 yards and 11 TDs. Kobe Barrett anchoring that line, outstanding blocker. Sam Brooks, number 44, 101 tackles. You'll see him a little bit at fullback tonight beside linebacker. Ian Moore, the defensive back, having a phenomenal year with 92 tackles. So there you have it with those Husky headliners.
Well, we have the table set for you tonight on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. It's opening round playoff action, a D1 matchup as Sheldon plays host to Cosumnes Oaks. Stick around. When we come back, we'll check in with our colleague Rick Stewart, who has much more on tonight's big playoff matchup. Stay with us.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome to the show. Tonight we're at Sheldon High School for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Opening round Division I playoff action. The host Huskies tonight entertaining the visiting Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack. Let's turn our attention to Rick Stewart.
Alrighty, guys, we have 2 really good programs here that have been building for a long time for this. Now, Cosumnes Oaks is coming in here, and they've got something to prove. They're all fired up. Is their warm-ups? They were directing it right to Sheldon, and Sheldon, of course, was giving it right back to him. Let's take a look at these 2 coaches for these 2 programs. First, let's talk about Cosumnes Oaks and their head coach, Derek Milgren. It's his 4th year. His career record is 29-16. His average is 8 wins in his first 3 seasons. That's great. 3 straight playoff appearances, 2-3 is playoff record in those appearances, and he's got a CVC title, and that's 2014. So Derek Milgram's got this program on the roll. Got a couple injuries tonight that Will and Jim will talk about, but that's coming up too. Now let's talk about Sheldon and the Huskies coach, Joe Catolico. This is Joe Catolico's the second year here at Sheldon, his 10th in the Delta League. And you can see the graphic there for Derek Milgram and not Joe Catalico. Joe Catalico's career record is 83-30. Reached the playoffs 8 out of 9 years. Check that. That's 9 out of 10 years. 15-7 on his playoff record. He's got 4 league titles and a 2010 Section D1 championship for Joe Catalico here at Sheldon this year, but we also had him in another program. So we've got 2 really good coaches here that are leading their programs. Now let's talk about the series history. And the guys talked to you about it just a few moments ago. There's not a lot of series history here. It's just the 3rd meeting since 2010. Sheldon leads the series 2-0 at this point, and it's all based on close games, and they're tough losses for the Wolfpack. They've had some incredibly bad luck on a couple of those opportunities where they just came so close to putting Sheldon away. I'm looking forward to a really, really sharp, crisp game tonight. Hopefully we got a good game weather-wise and everything. So, guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Rick. We'll be right back for tonight's opening kickoff here on the Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Well, just moments away now from our opening kickoff in this evening's playoff opening round D1 matchup. Sheldon hosting Cosumnes Oaks. With Jim Domino, I'm Will James. Happy to have you with us tonight at a crossroads point here in the high school football season. As you see there, the Cosumnes Oaks Ball Club coming out onto the field. They're wearing their road whites trimmed in navy and orange. And now taking the field on the near sideline, the Sheldon Huskies, black trimmed in their turquoise. Well, it'll be Cosumnes Oaks kicking off to start the ball game from our right to our left. And Brad Morehouse has done a nice job for them over the course of the season. And the deep returners, dangerous run-back artists for Sheldon High School. Among them, Maceo Love, Terrell Smith, Austin Hertz. So here's Morehouse on the approach toward the far side and drifting a bit, taking on the run. Squirting through a nice hole, big time running room. A dead sprint, far sideline. Touchdown Huskies on the opening kickoff by Hertz. And he put the big hurt that time on the Wolfpack. Austin Hertz.
What a way to start the ball game, Will. He took that ball deep back in territory, found the running lane, and then along that far sideline showed sprint speed all the way and good late action. He finished that run terrifically with a lot of speed chasing him.
He did indeed. That's the trademark of a finisher, is to complete a burst like that even with full pursuit from different angles, and that's exactly what Austin Hertz was able to do, and boy, did he just give his team a boost in the opening seconds. On for the PAT, Jack Dolinar. Elijah Pierce to hold. Snap on target, spotted, booted, line drive, got it. At 11:47 early on, shock treatment applied by the host Huskies. 7-0. Here's the replay. Inside the 10, we're going to call it a 92-yarder.
Watch Hurt here. He misses, bounces off a tackler, switches that ball to his inside hand, back to his outside hand, and now the chase is on. And he's showing you that he has front speed and back speed. Will Austin Hurt going approximately 92 yards to score.
Well, that was fantastic, and he is a game breaker. Tonight, wearing the white cap, our game official Albert Bond, Carter Matisse, the umpire, and K.J. Young, our head linesman. Eric Joe will serve as our line judge, and Tracy Kieran, our back judge. So that was probably the fastest 7-0 we've seen all season, Coach.
Well, that took all of 13 seconds. He looked like he can run a 10-flat 100-meter in that, Will.
Yes, he does. So the Wolfpack would like nothing more than to trade that favor. And Jacob Track, Jeremiah Moore, and Corey Perkins are capable of doing that.
Yes, they do. They've been very dangerous.
There's the Dolinar kickoff to the near side. Good distance, and it trickles into the end zone for a touchback out to the 20, and that is where Cosumnes Oaks will open shop. Let's take a look at the Wolfpack offense that is now behind the 8 ball. Special teams giving up a 92-yard electrifying kickoff return by Austin Hertz. And I was impressed with the way he waited for his blocking to deploy before reaching midfield. He did not outrun them.
No, he did a great job following his blockers, and then he hit a crease on that far side, Will. Tightrope that sideline, and as we said earlier, he had late speed. He finished the run. Great, showed me great endurance on that.
So we'll set the offense for you in a moment. Meantime, quarterback Larry Frierson, number 11, the Wolfpack Southpaw, running the show for head coach Derek Milgren. Back to throw, deep over the middle, a slant, incomplete. Just going wide. Jeremiah Moore, a very dangerous wideout, the intended receiver.
Well, he wasn't wide open, Will, but he was between both safeties. That ball was catchable if he doesn't overlead him.
The offense tonight, there you see Frierson at the top. Fullback is going to be Dakota Van Dyke, and the game breaker Track, the running back. Moore, Craig, and Totten, the receivers. And then there you see an impressive offensive line, though they've had to do some patchwork with Porter and King anchoring that middle.
Well, as we know, this time of the year, you're in your 11th week or 11th ball game, Will. The injuries mount up throughout the season, and particularly late in the season.
They toss and go wide right, and some nice running room as they turn the corner for what looks like about a 9-yard run. Nice little slice on that, turned in by Track. So the down 3 in this Husky defensive alignment, it's a green sandwich with Fabian Joseph in the middle. They go with the quartet of backers and Brooks, the leading tackler on this outfit. And then the secondary, well constructed there. Speed to burn on the corners and tough defenders at the safeties. 3rd and a couple. Key down for the Pack. They come to the near side with Track, and he's hit and dropped near the first down yardage. Let's see what kind of a spot they give him.
Well, if they give him the right spot, Will, wow, I thought he had another foot or two.
So they do not spot favorably here, and the Imperator is always right. So it's going to bring up a 4th and perhaps less than a yard, a couple of feet. Let's see what Derek Milgren wants to do here, down 7.
Well, it's early in this football game, and he's got about a half a yard to go now. Will he try to draw them off sides, and if he can, and if he can't, and then if he call a timeout and punt the football? Let's see.
Well, though he's not known for running, this looks like quarterback sneak distance to me. Motion in the backfield by Love. They hand off. Big hole off the left side. Track spins, gets across the 35, and has a nice gain for an easy first down.
Well, there was a huge gap in there, a gap that looked between the center and the guard, and Track found that running lane real easy. I'm a little surprised at that. Not surprised he made a first down. Let's look there. Right, a crease right inside.
Well, it was wide enough for him to rip off about 8 yards there. So they set up with a first down, football parked at the Wolfpack 37. Just underway here at Sheldon High. Nice to have you with us. Hometown Sports Game of the Week. 9:45 early first. Frierson to throw. He gets flushed. He's going to have to run it. Turns upfield and gets tagged after about a 2-yard gain to the 39.
That's a big hit in that secondary.
Lowered,
number 6.
Julian. Dylan, he shivered his timbers on that.
Wow, number 6, Dylan Janelle really did in that open field. Watch the tackle. He flushes the pocket, and watch Janelle come up, number 6, and it puts a pretty good hit on him.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8, football at the Wolfpack 39. They're really taking their time getting the play in from the side. Clock rolling at the 9-minute mark. Under center this time, turn and give. Nothing doing on the play to Track. Buried when he got the handoff.
Sam Brooks, who's had a phenomenal year, 101 tackles coming in to tonight, was waiting for him. Looked like he was untouched.
Number 44, Sam Brooks. Keep your eye on him. No gain, maybe a foot or so. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 as the clock rolls at the 8.5-minute mark. Again, extra long time for the play calling. Out of the gun to the near side, Frierson looking, throwing, sideline, on target. What a nice throw there, and a grab by Jeremiah Moore. Beautiful.
Well, Frierson really showed me a lot of patience there, Will. He really flushed the pocket, and if we see this again, watch him roll. He's got his eyes downfield. His focus is great. He throws on the run, gets that shoulder squared, and puts it right there.
Well, the gain is to the Sheldon 39. 22 yards on the catch and run. A beautiful strike thrown to the sideline. And nice hands hauling that in by Moore. So play comes in from the Wolfpack sideline. They've got a slow, deliberate drive underway, trailing 7-0. Frierson again to throw. Protection breaks down, and he's going to run it. Strung out, still going to throw. Intercepted, almost a pick 6, ill-advised.
Well, I know that Coach Milgren would like to have that play back.
Dom Johnson read the play like a book.
Yeah.
Jumped the passing lane, but we do see that a yellow marker has been fired late.
Frierson flushes the pocket, but made a very poor decision. He had a couple of yards for the run. There was no need for him to throw the football.
So here's our clarification from our game referee upcoming. But it does not look good for the Wolfpack. The penalties against them, it's declined. That is a drive buster.
It certainly was. They had a nice drive. They mixed up the run with Track, and prior to that, Frierson had a great pass. Watch this again. Not a good decision. I'm sure that quarterback Frierson, watch him flush the pocket. He decides to keep it himself. He's got a couple of yards gain. Now he goes backward, so he makes sure he's behind the line of scrimmage, and there you see that pass picked off.
Okay, first series from scrimmage is going to be delayed a bit. Sheldon walked up to the line and things weren't quite scared. So they'll try it again here. Good field position at the 47.
Dom Johnson with a great interception, Will. Dom Johnson.
Under center, Salinas. Set the offense for you shortly. Nice hole up the middle. Aggressive running and a nice spin and a good gain on the play by Terrell Smith, the team's leading ball carrier.
What an opportunity for Sheldon. They take over the ball following an interception by number 1, Dom Johnson, getting the ball on about the 46-yard line. Short field to drive.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Football park at the 42, more like a 5-yard gain, but it doesn't look like it. Turn, hitch pass left side. Hurts, a stop and go move, strings it to the sideline. Shy of a first, but nice little bite. So the Sheldon offense coming in averaging about 35 a game, opening with junior QB Francisco Salinas. Gutierrez at the fullback position, leading ball carrier Smith. Hurts, the ever-dangerous returner, and Graves will keep an eye on him as well. Kobe Barrett anchors that line beautifully, an all-leaguer. Up to the line, 3rd and 2. I formation this time, shown by the Huskies. Turn and give, right side Smith, pounded hard and driven back. And we'll see where they spot it, but he got tagged hard. Let's take a look at that Wolfpack defense that's really got its hands full tonight. A 5-man front with Porter anchoring that nose position and good veterans across there. And you'll see just 2 linebackers, but boy, are they special, particularly Van Dyke, who leads the area with 141 tackles. And the secondary, plenty of speed out there, very reliable, anchored by Nick Craig. 4th and 2.
Well, here you see Sheldon not taking any chances in a punt formation. Will they fake the punt? They're down deep there inside the 40, Will.
They do not fake it. Here's a high, wobbly, short punt, taking a lateral bounce, now a backward bounce, downed at the Cosumnes Oaks 25. So average field position for the Wolfpack, but a stop for their defense.
I think Coach Catalico would love to have that back when he decides to kick and gets approximately a 15, 17-yard punt. Wow. Really.
He's done better.
That almost brought rain from that cloud up above. He was straight up, that punt, and straight down.
Well, he succeeded in having no return, but they traded some real estate in the field position differential. So here's Frierson trying to crank up another drive that was halted with an interception. Right side running track. Gets a little bit of yardage before 3 Huskies push him back after he crossed that 30-yard line.
Well, track picking up approximately 6 yards on that play. That time they had a good measurement. But, you know, Cosumnes was very fortunate. They really, really are fortunate that they didn't lose some points on that pick play. They held their own. They held Sheldon, and they could have very easily been 2 touchdowns behind early in this football game.
No doubt. And this is a very critical drive for them to try to get something on the board. But that was an 8-yard burst. 2nd and 2 upcoming now. Turn and give. A cut. Track was going outside and saw the daylight to the inside, and I think he's got some first down yardage. We'll see what kind of a spot he gets.
Well, once again, they didn't give him a good spot, and he's got a yard to go, Will. There was no hole there. There really wasn't much there. And he tried to go over his left side over Porter and Hawkins and center King. There wasn't much there. This linebacking core of Sheldon, Tuala, Brooks, inside backers are outstanding. Brooks, one of the top linebackers in the city. Watch this. Not much room. There it is.
That closed up fast. Good, sure tackling right there. So whistles are going to blow this play dead. Well, timeout taken by Derek Milgren and the Wolfpack, and this will give us a chance for the Imperator to talk about what he feels are the biggest keys in tonight's game.
Okay, let's look at the Wolfpack protection. You know, Frierson particularly at midseason, and his replacement were getting hit quite a bit. So that front line, has got to protect him tonight. Sheldon will run that football. They're getting that I formation, and they'll pull linemen and lead with their fullback and use the clock. Quarterback efficiency is really huge tonight. Frierson and Bendel have to have good nights. Unfortunately, we saw one bad decision already, as well as Salinas. Ball control Huskies versus big play Wolfpack. And then coaching experience, both these guys have been involved in playoffs. Milgren 4 for 4, Catolico 8 for 9. Turnovers, we've already had one, Will. And then the shorter recovery period, they're both coaches and teams are nursing injuries, which is certainly apparent at this time of the year.
3rd and 1, track to the outside right, big speed, turn the corner, first down, Wolfpack. Prior to that carry, Track had 26 yards on 6 carries, and he added another nice slice right there.
Well, right now, early in this football game, he's got about 7 or 8 touches, and Track looks like he's on a track meet here the way he's turning the corner.
12 yards on that carry. Clock rolling at the 4:05, flip side of quarter number 1. And we're very glad to have you with us this evening for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. And this is opening round Division I playoff action, part of that Cosumnes Oaks coaching staff there. Left side run, shut down on a grab and a jerk. Frierson got yanked down. That was very impressive defensive play there by Kopo Tuala.
Well, Frierson felt that. He only got about a yard and a half. Watch Frierson keep the ball, a design run, and he gets hit near from the backside as well as 2 other defenders and only picked up about 2, and that's roughed on that left-hander's left shoulder.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Track goes right, turns up, nice burst. He's a little shy of the first down, but a nice effort there gets him all the way to the Sheldon 45 or so. Let's see where they spot him up. 3rd and 1, gain of 7, another look.
Watch the handoff to Track here. He bounces it outside, shows a burst of speed in there, and for a little guy, I'll tell you what, he's tough with the yards after contact, Will. He's got great desire. He loves moving those chains, so don't be deceived by his size.
Gain of 7. He's starting to pile up some nice yardage, but 3rd and 1 is the question here. Out of the gun, we see motion in the backfield. Frierson wants to throw, he gets flushed and fires out of bounds. Incomplete. 4th and 1.
3rd and a short 1 on that previous down, Will.
You know, they were having so much success with Track. I was kind of surprised, Coach.
That makes 2 of us.
Well, let's see about the penalty. To go from bad to worse, intentional grounding on Frierson. That means not just an incomplete pass, but a loss of down that will not enable them to go 4th and 1.
My goodness, we saw in the previous series a pick after he had flushed the pocket for plus yardage. And now we say a grounded football forcing the Wolfpack to punt the ball back to Sheldon.
4th and 7 forces a punt formation. Solo safety stationed outside the Sheldon 30, Austin Hertz.
Well, if he doesn't get that ball off quick, it's going to cost him another 5.
Well, that's Cole Bendel, backup quarterback, number 1 punter, steps up and boots it. Hertz calls for a fair catch and takes it. Nice hands at the 20. So, nicely handled. And Cosumnes Oaks gained a little in field position, but unraveled there at the end of that drive.
Well, once again, we had a nice drive going highlighted by Track's running, as you mentioned, Will. He's had some key runs on 2nd to 3rd down, moving the chains, averaging 6-7 yards a pop just about.
Oh, I'm just an observer. What do I know about it? But it's a 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for Salinas and the Huskies. They show motion down the line. Near side running. That was very well handled and contained with lateral pursuit. Hurts. Saw a lot of resistance there.
We did, and we saw a couple of late contacts there by both ball clubs, and they were ignored. They were well after the whistle.
Nevertheless, gain of 5, 2nd and 5, another look at what Jim was speaking of.
Okay, here you see Hurts nowhere to go. It cuts inside. He does pick up about 5. He's dangerous as a receiver and a running back.
Salinas under center, turns and gives. And a short yardage play on the carry by Smith. And another marker.
Another marker. They looked like they had a little motion or illegal procedure happening prior to the snap.
Well, let's get the call from our ref, Albert Bond. As indicated by the Imperator, that'll cost him 5. We'll make it 2nd and 10.
Formation on the offense, 5 yards.
So it puts him back. It should put him back on the 19 where they open this drive. And facing the 2nd and 10 because of the penalty yardage. Just a very pleasant, calm evening tonight here in South Sacramento. We're at Sheldon High. Opening round playoffs, CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires football championships. He wants to throw, deep right sideline, got a man out there, caught. Inbounds. Wow, that was a pinpoint strike. And they went to their top running back.
Tyrell Smith with an over-the-head catch, Will. Outstanding call. There you see him going to the sideline. And I'll tell you, Salinas threw a strike. Watch Salinas backing out. It's got good protection. Steps up in the pocket, goes along the sideline. Great focus in there by running back Smith.
38 yards on the catch and run. Now from the Cosumnes Oaks, 43. Up the gut running. Nice power, starting with a nice hole. Good running room there that time on the carry by powerful Tajon King. A large bite. We'll call it a gain of 6. We'll make it 2nd and 4 upcoming. Football resting at the CO 37-yard line. We're down to 43 seconds, clock rolling, late first quarter, 7-0 Sheldon, working on another drive. King is a big load to handle, and I wouldn't want to try. He's listed at 6'1", 213, but that may be a little light.
Well, he appears to be much heavier than that.
Well, he's a yard shy. Football spotted at the 34, where it's 3rd and 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. They get the play off. They run the football right up the gut, and it's an easy blast for a first down with some good line blocking. And we have played one with host Sheldon on top 7-0 in this opening round D1 playoff game. And Rick Stewart standing by with a special guest that we have seen previously in the season and admired his play. Rick?
All right, I'm here with Mark Collins from Cosumnes Oaks, wide receiver, one of the studs for the Wolfpack. Now, 2 weeks ago, you had an injury that's keeping you out of tonight's game. I mean, this is a big game as a senior. How do you feel?
I mean, it's tough, but just watching my team, I think we're going to get it. We're going to get the win tonight. I mean, we've been prepping all year for a playoff game. I feel we got the best athletes all the time. So, I mean, even though I'm out, my team backed me up. It's all good, so we'll win.
Well, it's only 7-0 after the quarter break, so that's really nothing at this point with the way you guys can strike so quickly. Dual quarterbacks, does that affect you as a wide receiver?
For me, no, not really. We get a lot of reps with our quarterback. So, I mean, we either if it's with Larry or either with Cole, they're both different right hand, right, left hand. So, I mean, it's all. I mean, as long as you practice with them, you'll get the ball. You'll get the ball in your hands, and you'll be good. So.
There's rumors out there that when a left-hander throws, you got a different spin. Is that true?
Yeah, it's awkward. It's like a knuckleball coming at you. But just keep your eye on it. You'll catch the ball, get upfield, and touchdown hopefully every time.
All right, Mark. Well, hurry on back. Hopefully you guys come out on top. You'll be back next week, hopefully if they'll let you. And best of luck in the future going forward.
Yep, thank you.
All right, thanks, Mark. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you very much. A key loss there, and one of the outstanding players in this section, Mark Collins. And we'll amplify that on that note a bit later. But right now, motion down the line for the Huskies. Under center is Salinas. Back to throw, steps up, fires out to the right corner, and he's got a man wide open inside the 5 on a key throw to Dom Johnson.
Wide open.
Ooh,
my goodness. Great protection. They are protecting Salinas. And it looked like only a 2-man route, so they had max protection. I'd like to see that over again, but we saw number 1, Don Johnson, wide open. Let's look at the protection here. As you see, Salinas back to throw. He's got a nice pocket there, and wide open is Johnson. And knocked out of bounds in there by number 5 on Cosumnes Oaks, Jeremiah Moore.
At the 6-yard line, gain of 24, running left, the big back inside the 5, dropped. Nice push by Tajon King following his interference. Track up from the secondary to help on the stop, but the football at the 2-yard line.
Let's have a look at that. And there you see banging away in there for a couple of yards.
Split backs. Whistles are going to kill this play as they go to King again. Perhaps the Huskies a bit over anxious. Offside on the offense and a goal line situation. Oh my word.
Well,
ball. Encroachment. Offense.
Well, this is a key series for both teams, particularly for Cosumnes. They don't want to fall behind by 2 touchdowns early in this football game. And, of course, Sheldon would like to put one on the board here and resume a 2-TD lead.
Here's a sweep, power backfield to the goal line. Touchdown, Huskies. Terrell Smith from the 6. Power blocking by 2 fullbacks, Gutierrez and Brooks, in the backfield that time.
Well, they went to that power set, and I'll tell you, got good push up front. Smith followed his blockers in there for the TD.
13-0. Sheldon on for the PAT is the highly reliable Jack Dolinar on the season. He's connected on 42 point-after kicks. High snap spotted and got it. At 11:16, early second, Huskies are back on the board, and here's how with Terrell Smith banging home. We'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Well, the Huskies have struck again early here in the second quarter of this opening round D1 playoff against visiting Cosumnes Oaks. An 81-yard drive, 6 plays, and the ground game highlighted by some accurate passing by Salinas. High kickoff to the far side, and it's going to be blown dead here. We've had 3 or 4 plays now. Penalty marker down, dropped near the 40.
Sheldon's scoring drive went 81 yards, took 3 minutes on 8 plays.
So we have had some penalties punctuating the early part of this game as we see our game referee, Albert Bond, our white cap tonight. So they'll kick off again from the 35-yard line. And track stationed as one of the deep returners. And he's teaming with dangerous Jeremiah Moore. Booming kick, ranging for it. Nice run back there. And dropped, crossing the 25-yard line. And King, who's really been coming on in recent weeks, made a nice return on that. And we'll see that he's also a very dangerous receiver. Elijah King, and working with Jeremiah Moore and the speedy Corey Perkins now that Collins is out. And just to amplify on the interview with Collins conducted by Rick Stewart, this season he's had 357 yards in receiving and 7 touchdowns in just 7 games. Pass out to the right side, quick hitch, it's complete. Nice spin move, and being dropped after a good little gain that time, Nick Craig. No huddle offense. The Wolfpack deploys quickly as they'll spot the line of scrimmage at the CO 36.
Once again, getting a play from the sidelines. As mentioned earlier, they're taking their time. They're using, of their 25 count, they're using 15, 20 seconds minimum between plays. And I know Coach changed the play on a couple of occasions.
10.5 to go. Early second track, sweeps left, gets cut off, and gang tackled. It was well contained, and he did get some tough yards out of that.
He did. I'm impressed with him. He picked up about 4, moving the chains well. There was nowhere for him to go. And once again, they got a good, they have a ground game going here. And
Coach Milgram, as we look at the replay here, has gone to his alternating quarterback. Junior Cole Bendel is now on. Frierson off the field right now. And they're showing a first down here for the Wolfpack at their own 41. So Bendel with the big arm, they hand off to Track, and he's dropped in the backfield.
Well, there was a bad handoff there, Will. We darn near had a fumble. If we see that again, we're very fortunate they didn't give up the football. Really, if we looked at that again.
Well, that was telegraphed and anticipated.
There it is. The handoff was very high, way above the numbers on Track.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 12. Pack needs to make the Sheldon 49 for a first down. Out of the gun, Bendel looks left all the way, fires deep sideline, incomplete. Going for a streaking receiver, but a penalty marker out, going for slick Nick Craig.
Well, Bendel had to rush that throw. If we see the replay back there, he's had to backpedal and rush it.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty.
Okay, another look at the previous play. Bendel looked left all the way on the deep sideline route. Couldn't quite see the hold there, but that's where the flag came out. First down, the football parked at the 46. of Sheldon. So a good break for the visitors, trailing 14-0 here. Just over 9 minutes to go in the half. Here's a toss. Track works right. Waits for the block and spurts through there. First down running. That was superlative. Jacob Track waited for the block that enabled the first down yardage. Nice running.
It was. He used his blocking. He let it set up very nicely. And then he showed that burst off the block. Watch him here being very patient in this run. He turns the corner. Watch him use his blockers. Now he turns in the running lane and picks up a nice first down.
It was indeed. So they set up shop at the 34-yard line. And here's a toss. They work Track to the left, trying to turn corner, and does. Not for a lot, but he's got a little slice over there to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's okay. He's picked up 4 or 5 on that at least, as we see them bring the ball back in from inbounds. And they got a nice drive going here with the young junior quarterback, Bendel, at the helm. And they're mixing it up with Track, as we have seen them. He's probably got a dozen carries thus far and carrying the load for the Cosumnes Oaks Ball Club.
They give him a gain of 3, making it 2nd and 7 from the Husky 31. Bendel still in at QB. Fake the handoff. He wants to throw. A bullet over the middle, incomplete. I don't see any receivers in that vicinity.
Well, there was one that he threw the ball behind. There was a receiver that swung right to the wide side of the field, wide open. Well, he definitely zeroes in on his primary receiver, and he's got his alternate receiver wide open on the wide side of the field.
3rd and 7. Clock stopping with 8.5 to go here as we near midway second. Sheldon has scored a touchdown in each of the first 2 quarters and sitting on top of a 14-point lead, as expected for the most part. However, the Wolfpack on the move. Bendel rushed hard, shakes off the tackle, throws on the run, incomplete. Just getting rid of it out of the pocket, but a flag flies.
Well, definitely no receiver in the area. He's going to be called for grounding the football. Definitely grounding the football. That was a throwaway. And receiver came off the edge, real hard. It was untouched.
Grounding, offense.
Twice now this evening we've seen an intentional grounding call, once on each quarterback. Here's another look at Bendel.
Flushing the pocket, looking for someone. There's no one in the area.
Well, they're going to get stung again on the penalty, as our game referee Albert Bond gives the mechanics. So twice now, Cosumnes Oaks has had a drive underway and then essentially self-destructed. Penalties have hurt them, and a grounding call on each quarterback now.
Well, he's faced with a 4th and long here, and Coach will probably call a timeout. He's taking a long time along that sideline to call a play.
Now we have an officials conference. Number 5 man late getting into the huddle. That would be, if that's our line judge, Eric Joe, arriving tardy on the scene. And as you know, the highly regarded Sheldon High School Marching Band in action tonight, somewhat taking away what I would consider a light attendance tonight, particularly for a home playoff game. But I think some fans are still streaming in.
Well, they're missing a good ball game. If they went off on an early holiday, they're missing a good football game. As you see, the staff of Coach Milgram and the rest of his Cosumnes coming up with a 4th down play. This is not easy in that playbook when you've got 4th and approximately close to 20 yards, 18 to go.
Football at the Sheldon 40. They call it 4th and 16. Okay, flooding the area with 4 receivers. A strike over the middle, incomplete. Off the hands of our intended receiver there. And Perkins, a speedster off the bench, the intended receiver, but a high throw and not on target, and we'll certainly credit defensive back Dylan Junial for some good coverage.
Well, once again, the Huskies will take over in good field position. Will on the 40, only having a 60-yard field to drive. And let's see what Coach Catalico does now. If he stays on the ground, uses that clock with a commanding 14-0 lead.
From their own 40, first down for Sheldon. Turn and give. What else is new? Smith hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back by 4 of the Wolfpack defenders.
Well, they look like they're rotating Smith in there a little bit with the big man King, number 28. They're back to Smith in here.
Another look at the play. It turns out to be a 1-yard run, but Smith paid for it. He really took some shots on this play. Clock rolling at the 7:50 mark as we near midway second. Again, Sheldon has led from the outset and just got a stop on defense. Sweep right. Terrell Smith sneaks through a hole, crosses the 45. Nice effort with not much daylight there.
Not much at all. He got the most out of that play, and I thought some movement there, but apparently it wasn't called. I thought the tight end had jumped the snap there, but it was not called, and Tyrell picked up about 4 or 5 in there with some good hard running.
Gain of 5. Third down, ball spotted at the Sheldon 46. I thought he'd go upstairs here. Salinas, a short drop, rushed hard, knocked down as he releases, and a super duper catch there. Let's see if they allow it. What an effort in a crowd.
That was phenomenal. And number 1, Dom Johnson came up with a leaping catch. And I'll tell you, talk about throwing the football under desperation. Let's look at that Salinas. Salinas is under the gun here, flushes the pocket. He's going down and still with a last-second effort. Look at this leaping catch by Dom Johnson.
Both ends of that were spectacular. Salinas was in a bear hug by one of those defensive linemen, still managed to throw an accurate pass. 1st and 10, Huskies on the move, now working from the 46 of the Wolfpack. I formation, turn and give. They run the football again. Not this time. Tough D right on the nose, especially by Porter, as they shut that down, and no running room whatsoever. That was fine defensive line play right there.
Excellent defense by Cosumnes. Actually, they're playing pretty good defense here, Will. It's just that they put themselves in a hole with some picks and some rough decisions by quarterback Frierson early in this football game.
Gain of 1 to the CO 45. 6-minute mark, midway second. Salinas to throw. Great protection. Fires deep, left side, wide open. Dropped! Oh my goodness. Michael Graves normally would have eaten that up like his favorite ice cream, but juggled that one. Incomplete.
Wow. Touchdown written all over it. Let's look at this again. Salinas with all kind of protection goes deep. He's got Graves wide open. There it is. And wow, it slips through his hands.
Well, and the happiest man on earth right now is defensive back Trent Cannon, who had the coverage and was beaten flat. That is a reprieve. Incomplete, 3rd and 9. Clock stopping at the 5:50. Things warming up here at Sheldon High School in this opening rounder. Salinas again. Screen pass, complete to the near side. Turning it on, the big man, left sideline. Good running room. Excellent job to the big fullback, Tajon King.
I like the screen call. Outstanding call from Coach Catalico and his group, headed by offensive coordinator Butch Catalico, his dad. Let's look at this great screen call here. Well executed by Salinas. Watch the line pull, and King uses his blockers and moves the chains.
Gain of 14 on the catch and run. Set up nicely are the Huskies here with about 5.5 to go in the half. On top, 14 zip. Tight formation this time, I formation. Turn and give. Terrell Smith jukes his way for a few, but that closes up quickly. as he gets inside the Wolfpack 30.
You know, King and Van Dyke having their usual nights. They're all over the place making tackles. Well, Cosumnes has got to really dig in here with 4:45 on the clock. They've got to stop this drive.
Split backs this time. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Salinas wants to throw. Got great protection. A bullet over the middle. Broken up. Excellent anticipation and defensive reaction by Jeremiah Moore. 3rd and 8.
Well, he got there at the last second. It had completion written all over it, wide open in the middle. I'm impressed right now with the pass protection of that Sheldon front. Watch Salinas having all day to throw the football, wide open in the middle, and a great save right at the end by Moore.
Again, the intended receiver, the very elusive Dom Johnson, who always seems to be open.
Credit that front line of Barrett, Middleton, Lemos, Lewis, Garrett with outstanding pass protection, Will.
3rd and long, big play coming up here for the Huskies. Tight formation. Turn and give, it's a reverse. Smith hands off, and here comes Hurts. Gets a block and dives forward across the 20. That looks like sufficient yardage for another Husky first down. Well, Austin Hurts took the handoff. That was well executed, as you'll see here.
Well, watch him. He's starts to come in motion. He run a counter back, pull a line, and a great call by the bench. Outstanding blocking, like I mentioned, from that Sheldon front.
Turn and give to Hurts. Cuts it back after working right and gets to the 15-yard line. About a gain of 4. Under 4 minutes now remaining in the first half. 2nd and 6 upcoming.
Well, I'm impressed with this Sheldon offense because they're mixing it up. Watch it. They give the ball to Hurts. They're using their outstanding wide receivers to run a bit of a fly series. He mixes that fly series in there with his conventional I formation, running in between the tackles with ISOs, etc. Outstanding using Hurts the way they're using him.
2nd down, 6. Toss, hit in the backfield, but he shakes it off. Smith popped again hard. That closed up quick, and roaring up from the secondary, the aforementioned Trent Cannon with a hard shot there to finish the play.
He did. Dakota Van Dyke slowed him down. If we see the replay, Dakota slowed him down, and then you'll see the finish coming in. What, Dakota? Number 33 coming in the picture.
Boom. A cannonball right on the button. Trent Cannon.
Outstanding corner play by Trent Cannon.
3rd and 7 after gain of 1 at the 14-yard line. Sheldon trying to close this drive before the intermission. Handoff. Nothing doing. That was gobbled up. Porter just annihilated that play. Smith didn't know what hit him.
Nowhere to go now. I think they've got a lot of confidence in Morehouse here as you see them setting up for a field goal attempt.
4th and 11, Jack Dolinar. He's been pretty good this year. 3 medium-range field goals, 35, 32, and 20. This one will be spotted at the 27. We'll call it 37 from near hash mark. Spot clean, boot on the way. Got it! Jack Dolinar from 37 at the 1:59 mark as the Huskies boost their lead by 3. Jack Dolinar, his 4th field goal this season, and it provides some important insurance here for the Huskies. Another look at the boot.
Wow. It looked like the defense decided not to rush. That's amazing. They just froze at the snap.
Soft touch. That one just blooped over by mere inches, but it's good for 3 on the board. And the rush, as you say, non-existent.
I have no answer. 17-0. Right now, the Huskies hitting on all cylinders. They had the dramatic opening play on the kickoff return to take immediate control. They've since added another TD with their methodical ground game. And now the field goal. The drive covering 60 yards, taking 6 minutes 22. Kickoff to the far side. Sideline running room to the 27 or so. Elijah King with the return. So the Wolfpack will take over 1st and 10 with a minute 54 to work with, trailing it here 17-0. And right now, they need to respond with something. Even though there's little time, they need to see some big play action.
Well, certainly. They cannot just sit back here. In that second quarter, Sheldon pretty much took over the play clock with that long drive, clock management, etc., doing what they do well.
So Frierson back in at quarterback. He hands off to Track, slips a tackle, slips another tackle, then gets blasted. But a tough, gutty run out to the 30.
Well, he's been running tough throughout the first half, Will. He needs a little more help, particularly in the passing department. And right now, Sheldon feels that the only thing they got to stop is Track.
Here's a tough 3-yard run.
Watch him bounce outside. One missed tackle. Give Track credit here. He got it 3 or 4 yards out of nothing.
He sure did before Hertz came up and finished the play. But Track has piled up some nice numbers here in the first half, though it hasn't shown anything on the scoreboard for the Wolfpack. Frierson throws on the run, and he's got a completion out to the left side for short yardage. I'm surprised they're not taking bigger bites at this point. Corey Perkins with the grab, and if he gets any step at all, you'll see Corey Perkins leave some people.
Well, once again, they've got to get him involved in the offense, and they've got to get Track involved. Yes, it's a first down, but, if you have playmakers, you got to get them the football.
From the 39-yard line, it's a first down. And 49 seconds left and rolling. So they spread out this time in their 4-receiver set. Frierson rushed hard and dropped on a sack that was just beautifully done. That was some major leakage into the backfield without being touched. And the fact is, Jet Green was unblocked.
Without a doubt. Frierson under the gun, the clock ticking away.
So they lose about 7 on the play, 8 on the play, 2nd and 18. Football parked at the CO 26-yard line. And with 9 seconds left, timeout taken, Jim.
Well, you got to be real careful here. With 9 seconds, you got 1 to 2 plays, perhaps just one. And you do not want a turnover on this last play of the potentially last play of the first half here, because you're down 17-0. And, I think that you've got to rely on the second half to come back in this football game and maybe not try to get it all in one bite here.
Yes, that's certainly wisdom speaking there. However, sometimes the call goes against the grain. And we'll see. We'll see. Just as the advocate in contrast, I think they'll try the deep ball and hope for a big catch and run or defensive pass interference and get another play.
Well, this is true. Now, you see them dropping 7 people, and the center fielders, the 2 corners and safeties, are well back about 40 yards.
Frierson wanted to throw. Now he's flushed, and he's going to run it to close out the half as he slides ahead, where they'll put an end to that run at the Cosumnes Oaks 40. So we have played one half here in this opening round Division I matchup of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section, Les Schwab Tires football championships, and favored Sheldon on top at the intermission by a count of 17-0 over 11 seed Cosumnes Oaks. Momentarily, we'll be joining Rick Stewart. Of course, at the half of each of our telecasts, he interviews the head coaches to get their take on first half action. But Sheldon, Jim, looked like a very well-oiled machine, very methodical, and really didn't show us anything we didn't expect thus far.
No, they do what they do, and they do it well. One of the things I see them utilizing a little more than we saw them a month ago is they're utilizing their wideouts on counter action and running the fly series, as well as running Smith inside and King inside, and now using Hertz more as a runner as well as a receiver.
Well, I see Coach Joe Catolico taking extra time to speak with downtown Ray Brown on the sideline, who did not see action in the first half. Wonder what that was about, but perhaps an unrewarded curiosity. But we will now turn our attention to our Rick Stewart, and he is standing by at the sideline with Sheldon head coach Joe Catolico.
All right, Coach, opening kickoff, what a start.
It was a great start. Our kids did a nice job, obviously, blocking it, and also did a nice job running the ball.
Okay, what's been the key that you have been allowed to not only move them, but also stop their offense?
Well, I think our kids have done a good job. Obviously, they've made some plays on us. They've got a good football team. We've got to play better in the second half in order to keep being able to do those things.
What's going to be the key for you in the second half?
Well, I think we've got to try to get off the field defensively. We got to get stops, and then we got to be more consistent on offense in terms of moving the football and moving the chains.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Good luck.
You.
All right, guys, we'll take a break, send it back up to you.
All right, Rick, thanks very much. The key to the first half, excellent play by Sheldon. We'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
You can see the score there, 17-0. Sheldon over Cosumnes Oaks. Here with Paula Duncan, the principal here at Sheldon. Paula, you got a day off tomorrow, and I'm sure the staff is really happy about that. But what's going on at school? I mean, we're heading into the holidays. Football's about over. Thanks for getting excited on campus.
It is never a quiet time in Husky land. We have football, playoffs, which is exciting. We have multicultural assembly, which is an amazing event for our students, representing probably 20 different groups performing, nationalities, ethnic, just entertaining our students and representing their culture. It's one of the greatest things we do. We do that right before the holidays start. And we just started basketball and soccer and wrestling, and we have kids going to cross country tomorrow. We have the band playing right behind us, and they have the Veterans Day Parade in Elk Grove tomorrow, so it's a busy time.
We've seen the Veterans Parade here at Access a couple times, and it's a tremendous thing to have to honor our service people that are in there now, but also have served their time in their country. So it's tremendous. Now, when you talk about cultural events and the students, what they're doing, is it musical or is it a variety?
It mostly is musical. They do dances, whether it's Hmong, Vietnamese, Filipino, East Indian. Any kind of group, any kind of dance that represents their cultural heritage. Our band, our choir, different performing groups on campus, all of our clubs, it's the highlight. They work for about 2 months practicing.
Wow, and that's all before the holidays when everybody's getting jazzed up anyway.
Exactly, so it's a great event.
When we talk about scholasticness, how does Sheldon stack up to some of the other schools, either in district or out of district? I mean, with things that are going on scholastically.
I think we compare well with all of our district schools, and within the state, we've been recognized as the best school a number of times. We have national award-winning programs. Our kids are attending the best universities. We have some amazing students in career technical education and video production. Our animation students just agreed to do an ABC Channel 10 Oscar work, and yes, and we're partnering with Disney and Pixar, so we're okay.
Wow, outstanding. Well, thank you for spending some time with me here at Halftime, Paula. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, and we always like having Access TV.
Well, it's always nice to be here. The support you guys give us when we come out here is tremendous.
Good.
All right, we will take a break. It's halftime. 17-0 is the score at halftime. Sheldon over Cosumnes Oaks. We'll be right back with more at halftime.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
I was kind of just asking her, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Alrighty, 17-0 is the halftime score. Sheldon over at Cosumnes Oaks. I'm here with Denise Aguilar, athletic director here at Sheldon. Now, tell me about what's going on in sports. Now, we're wrapping up football, so let's leave football out for the moment, because I know you're going to have another game next week, and well, I think you probably will. I don't know anything for certain, but basketball started, soccer's coming on too. Tell me what else and how those things are all meshing together.
So obviously the beginning of this week is when the winter sports started, so we're in the middle of tryouts. Probably today and tomorrow, obviously the lists will go up. It has been extraordinary, the number of kids that have come out. We are packed at the gills.
What's the change?
I just think kids want to play. Kids want to get involved, and it's an opportunity. We've seen a change in our culture on campus. The kids are much more involved, and this is their place. This is where they want to be, and so obviously being on a team, yeah. So.
Now, you mentioned the change in culture. What was the culture that it changed from to?
It used to be kind of a disconnect. When we first opened, we were very, very close, tight family, and then we've seen a lot of like retirements and the staff and change, and so we've pulled some new staff on, done some things in terms of building culture among the staff, and I think that's spilling over to the kids, and that we're back to that. We're a giant family. We all support each other. We all come out and hang out. So.
How's basketball going to be this year?
I don't want to jinx Joe, but yeah, okay.
Okay, all right, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Girls basketball too?
Yes, actually super happy that we had a great number of girls show out, so we're going to have a full varsity and JV team, and we've got some returners from last year that are young, but they play hard. They're fun to watch.
Outstanding. Soccer, boys and girls going on at the same time. As a winter sport, is that work?
We actually like it because it's a less conflict on the facility, and so they actually come out here. Obviously, it's a little cold, but we're going to do some things to help them out. But in terms of them not doing the club, conflicting with the club time too, we've seen a major reduction in the injuries with our soccer players. Yeah, and it's kind of nice when they come back on Monday and they can practice and play, because there's been so many times when they were in the fall or spring, they'd show up on Monday and we'd have a game like, sorry, I got hurt over the weekend, can't play.
Yeah. No, that's not acceptable. Well, I say not acceptable. I mean, it's not a good thing. Yeah,
super
definitely.
hard on a high school team.
Yeah. What do you see coming up in the spring? Briefly, I mean, quickly coming up.
So obviously we got Mary Jo in softball coming back. Matt in baseball is looking super strong, and then I'm super excited about our boys volleyball. They are going at it. So they're going to some tournaments that they haven't been before, and they are super excited to play.
Outstanding. Well, Denise, thank you for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure coming here.
Oh, we love having you guys.
All right. Thanks, Dion. It's halftime. You're seeing the score right there, 17-0. Sheldon over Cosumnes Oaks. We'll be right back, and we'll try and grab Coach Derek Milgren of Cosumnes Oaks after the break.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
What are you going to do? Okay, all right. We've got the head coach for the Cosumnes Oaks girls soccer team here.
Yeah.
Tell me your season.
We're trying to, we made the section semifinals last year, so we bring back most of our core, and we think we're going to have a very good season this year.
Okay, now, Mr. Morehouse, Coach Morehouse, one son's still playing football, correct? And one is playing soccer at Sac State.
Correct. My oldest is at Sac State playing soccer, just finished his freshman year, and my youngest is a kicker on the CO football team.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen him too much today, which is a downer, obviously. But
Yes.
Now, you also coach at CRC. You're assistant coach there. I mean, you coach around, correct?
Correct. I'm passionate about soccer, and I coach soccer year-round.
What's the key to building soccer?
It starts with just building passion in the youth players, and having them love the game at a young age, and having them growing up loving the ball and loving the game. That's what's important.
All right, sounds good. Rich, thanks for spending a minute with me and, saying hello. And it's good, always good to see you.
Good to
always
see you. Hey, have a good night.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll send it upstairs.
Well, we're just about concluded here for the halftime intermission at Sheldon High School. Along with Jim Domino and Rick Stewart, I'm Will James. This is Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And at the intermission, host Sheldon doing the things it does best and doing the basics that equate to winning. They're on top 17-zip. Let's turn our attention to Rick Stewart.
All right, Coach Milgren, first half didn't go the way you wanted it to from the opening kickoff. What did you see out there?
Missed tackles, turnovers, and too many mistakes.
Okay, simple, 1, 2, 3. What's going to be the key in the second half for you to correct all of that?
Well, I think we're competing real well with them when we don't make mistakes. So, clean up our game, keep doing what we're doing, wrap up a little better, don't turn the ball over and play a little bit smarter, and I think we'll be fine.
Were they doing anything special defensively that kind of slowed down your offense, the running attack?
No, I think they're doing a lot of what we expected, and we're having a lot of success, and we're making the big mental error, the big mistake, and that's killing us right now.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs to you, 17-0, Sheldon in the lead.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Coach Derek Milgren, I'm sure, tried to set the ship right at the intermission. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats compiled by Mr. Dave Larson, and let's check the rushing first for Cosumnes Oaks. We know that track got a lot of work in that first half. He finished with 65 yards. Tough carries, too. A lot of those were like 5 or 6 yards or less.
A lot of it he was doing on his own will, certainly yards after contact particularly.
Now, the three-way triangulated firepower for Sheldon, Smith, King, and Hertz, that's pretty nice balance right there, 16, 19, and 16. And then in the receiving department, we can see some big chunks here turned in by Salinas and these Sheldon receivers. Smith, 38 yards in receptions. Janelle, 24. King, 28. And for Cosumnes Oaks, despite trailing here 17-zip, they did have a little bit of success through the air, but not consistently. And as Coach Milgren said about his ball club, the turnovers just killed him.
Well, and another big difference is Salinas is staying in the pocket and getting great protection up front. Pass blocking by Barrett, Middleton, Lemus, Lewis, and Garrett. And there you see Coach Catalogo, as usual, with his hands in his pockets, and he's trying to figure things out for the second half. He's had a successful first half going.
Well, he knows that he had to contend with one of the better running backs in the area, and that would be Jacob Track. And we just mentioned Track 65 yards, and he is on the fast track because he's such a skillful runner. It's not just straight speed. We saw him do a number of delays and change of direction, and there you can see he's a double threat.
Well, he certainly is. Look at those carries over the last couple of years, almost 2,000 yards, 8.2 per carry, receiving 23 receptions, 286 yards, 15 TDs running, 3 TDs receiving. I'd say that's quite a game.
I'd say that's the complete package. Well, rankings are always a huge part on a weekly basis around the area. Some teams pay more attention to the actual placements of the rankings, but let's take a look at Domino's Dozen, compiled by, of course, our Imperator.
Well, let's start with Folsom. They've been up top all year long, and still they are not only a state power but a national power. Oak Ridge losing only to Folsom. Intercom undefeated. Sacramento High School having a big year despite some forfeits on their record. Granite Bay coming in 5. Del Campo having an undefeated season and headed for a possible showdown with Sac High. Jesuit, Antelope, Rockland, Sheldon, Placer, and Franklin. Sheldon, number 10, we're watching them tonight. Very impressive ball club. In the red zone, trying to get in that top 12, we have a number of teams. Christian Brothers having a great year. Monterey Trail, Lincoln, River Valley, Del Oro, Vista del Lago, Cosumnes Oaks, and Las Cordova. Number 20.
Well, teams back on the field now, getting ready for our second half kickoff. And Jack Dolinar to do the honors for Sheldon, and he made his mark in the first half with a pair of PATs and a field goal that really helped establish a secure lead at the intermission.
Well, Dolinar, as you mentioned, is one of the top kickers in the Sacramento area. He's been very consistent, Will. A lot of toe here.
A lot of toe. And, of course, along with the passing efficiency of Salinas, the backfield, a couple of burners that can really take it to the house, and we saw it in the first half. The blazing backfield buddies of Sheldon have left their mark in the first half.
Well, take a look at Tyrell Smith, 6.5 average along with Austin Hertz. And if you put that all in one back, you'd have 1,500 yards. Austin Hertz, a definite threat coming around, whether it's reverse, counter. Tyrell Smith running real hard. And, of course, occasionally they bring in another guy, King, and supports Hertz and Smith. And that adds to their running game. And with a great offensive line blocking that they have, Coach Ellingsworth taking care of that O-line like he does year in, year out. One of the best, probably, O-line coaches in the area.
No doubt. Here's the Dolinar kickoff. Second half underway. Taken on the far side and working left. A nice burst out to the 30-yard line or so. And a nice run back there. Tough yardage. Elijah King with the run back. And good stop by Justin Williams defensively. So the Wolfpack down 17. They need to get on the board immediately in this drive, in this possession, if they want to stick around in this game and be competitive. Turn and give. Right side running Track. After a couple strides, he's dropped. And again, Brooks right there for the stop.
Brooks coming into this contest with 101 tackles and 1 pick. One of the top linebackers in the city.
Well, another penalty has interrupted our flow. A hold. It's going to wipe out what had been a spirited run, but the walk-off is going to immediately put Cosumnes Oaks in a 1st and 20 situation. Tough to come back on those types of mistakes.
Well, Coach said it at halftime in his halftime talk. We've got to eliminate mistakes and turnovers. That's hurt them throughout the year at times, and certainly the first half tonight.
Frierson under center, turn and give, track up the middle. The hole closes fast, and he's shoved back by 3 Huskies.
Right now, the defensive front of Sheldon, Joseph, Green, and Green are really causing some havoc with that Cosumnes O-line, Will.
They are indeed. In on the tackle, Fabian Joseph teaming with Kopo Tuala for the stop.
And their core of linebackers, Tuala, King, Brooks, and Love, are doing a tremendous job. And really, there's nowhere for track to go. The defense of Sheldon's coming off their block so quick.
Frierson to throw, 2nd and 18, hit and sacked way too fast. He didn't have time to react, and Sam Brooks just gobbled it.
Sam Brooks on the blitz, and I'll tell you, that puts him in a huge hole where we're now in 3rd down and miles. Let's look at that as you see Sam Brooks really coming hard after him. No one picks him up.
The football all the way back to the 11-yard line, 10-yard loss, 3rd and 28. Tough situation here early in the 3rd. He wants to throw. Frierson over the middle. He's got a man. Nice leaping catch there. Great hands on that reception. Pulled down beautifully by Corey Perkins.
Well, you talked about him in the pregame, Will, how dangerous he could be. They just got to get him the football, and he is dangerous. Now, with 4th down and 3, will Cosumnes gamble here or punt the ball away?
I say gamble. Another look at the Perkins reception on the high strike
Watch
from Frierson.
Going in there, Perkins reaches up high and now picks up about 8 after the catch. Once again, Will, you mentioned over and over again, they got Moore and Craig and Perkins and Totten. They got to get him the football.
Teaming on the stop, Maceo Love along with Dom Johnson. Timeout taken. It comes at the 9:37 mark. It's a Cosumnes Oaks timeout, and certainly a spot here worthy of a timeout. You mentioned the situation down in distance. They got 4th and 3. They're down 17.
Well, to me, they've got to gamble here, Will, in my opinion, and not give up the football.
Well, let's see what Rick Stewart has to say.
All right, got some scores to update for you. Rockland's up 10-7 at half over Downey. Elk Grove is up 14-7 over Antelope at the half. Sacramento obviously plays tomorrow. Vintage 24-21 over Inderkum at halftime. Obviously this game we know the score too. Vista Del Lago's up 25-6 over Cordova at halftime. Oak Ridge 35-12 over Lincoln. Capital Christian 7-7 at halftime over with Bear River. Del Campo 22-0 first quarter score. It hasn't updated to half, so we don't know there. Folsom 55-3 in the 3rd quarter.
Frierson upstairs has a completion and a clutch catch right there. Well, the veteran Nick Craig hauling that in, an important, crucial, critical first down. Let's take a look again at this senior receiver making the grab.
Frierson going over the top, and of course Craig going over the top with a nice reception here, and that's what they need more of. Protect Frierson, he has a chance. He does, you know, if you protect him, he has a chance to get him to those playmakers.
Well, there you see Frierson, number 11, and their top ground gainer, Track right beside him. He wants to throw again. Heavy pressure, sacked again, dropped at the 45. Super quick to the quarterback, Fabian Joseph, with the sack.
Well, take a look at this. Look at the pressure now. They're collapsing that pocket, and here it comes. He's got to get the ball out. He had the ball at least 3 seconds. Well, he has to get rid of the football.
Loss of 7, 2nd and 17. pushed back across the midfield stripe to the Cosumnes Oaks 47. Clock rolling, 8:35 to go. They rush him hard, screen overthrown. Wow. Well, he was going for a track and just overthrew him by a couple yards.
Well, you've got to slow some people down on the screen pass. You can't open the gates. And boy, 2 people were untouched, putting heat on them.
They opened the gates. So that brings up 3rd and 17. You see Joe Catolico, who has to be at least moderately pleased with his club's effort. And the story of the game line right now, 17-0. Huskies trying to get a stop here. Cosumnes Oaks fires into throw over the middle again. Intercepted on the run. But they may call him down after he made the catch. That was very nice anticipation that time. Ian Moore
with a great interception. It looked like either the ball or his knee touched the ground back there.
Well, I'm going to have to guess the knee because they're changing teams, and that is a Moore interception. Let's take a closer look.
Watch Ian Moore with this pick. Frierson back to pass, throws into a crowd, and there's Ian Moore waiting as a receiver. There's the knee touch. Good, excellent film work on that.
1st and 10 from the Sheldon 33. They run to the near side. Hurts turned the corner and shoved out nearing the 40. Going to give him about a 4-yard gain or so, but a nice start. Penalties have marred the game to some extent, holding against Sheldon. Here's another look.
Here's a give to Hurts. He runs that sweep left with a host of blockers, getting knocked out of bounds. However, it's all coming back.
Yes, not time to call that a drive buster, but a penalty on 1st down. Not the way any team wants to start their drive. And here's an announcement from our referee, Albert Bond.
Offense, 10-yard penalty.
Thanks, Albert.
1st down.
At the 26-yard line, it's going to be a 1st and 17 from the Sheldon 26. Double wide receivers to the far side. Turn and toss. Nice cut to the inside to get a burst in there. Smith reads blocking very well, as does Track of Cosumnes Oaks.
Smith picking up a couple off that penalty. And, you know, they rotate Smith in there along with the big guy, King, who can pound you inside, one of their big backs. And once again, they come around with counters with Hurts. Boy, they keep you honest, and Salinas is being protected here tonight. Looks so much better than we saw him a month ago.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 13. Salinas wants to throw, has all night. Over the middle, incomplete. Going for Dom Johnson on the play.
Well, again, if we take another look at that, good play action by Salinas. He had Johnson wide open in the middle. Key 3rd down for both teams. This is key.
Yes, it is a key. 7:26 to go. Here's the 2nd look we asked for on the pass play. Nice setup, recognition, and he just leads Johnson a little bit too far. Coverage on the play applied by Trent Cannon. So 3rd and 13. A flip to the right side, complete, and here's a foot race. He splits the defense, and he is going to be very gone on that play. Oh, my goodness. Touchdown, Huskies. And Dom Johnson is the man.
They ran that bubble screen to perfection, Will. That was a great call. And once Johnson got his hands on the ball, he was off to the races. I love the call.
That has to be very satisfying for the Sheldon Brain Trust.
Well, take a look at this, how quickly Salinas gets it out on the quick bubble screen right. And there's a huge running lane, and he's off to the races, Will.
70 yards. 23-0. PAT is good. 24-zip. And Salinas to Johnson is the story here. We'll be right back.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Sheldon High School cruising right now. They've had two of the longer plays of the season, 82 and 70. Hertz a kickoff return for 82. Salinas to Johnson, a 70-yarder. Dolinar the boot, far side, taken on the run. Wow. Nice spirited run back. Showed some extra determination, Elijah King.
Excellent. He showed stop and go, change of pace, all kind of on that far side, Will. Can Cosumnes get something going here? Now down 24-0, midway in the third quarter. And you know, we talked about big play Cosumnes. It's been big play Sheldon tonight.
It has, no question. From the 36, Bendel into the ball game at quarterback, hands off to track, break outside and show some speed. Near sideline, 40, 35. He broke that one off, didn't he?
He certainly did, and needing a few more blocks downfield. That's what he needed, a couple of more. He inside, outside, a great burst by Track. Let's have a look at this, and you'll see here at Track, it's the handoff and bounces outside. It makes a great move there. Now he's off to the races on a nice long run downfield, setting it up. A 28-yarder, and probably the longest run from scrimmage tonight for them.
Definitely so, and I imagine Track is over 100 yards by now. Bendel under center, strong arm junior QB. On in relief of Frierson, toss to Track, sweep left. Got a block on Hertz, very nicely done, and a cutback.
Once again, it looks like he's got enough to move the chains, Will, or very close on the far side.
Well, there was an outstanding block thrown out there, enabling Track. It's a block on Hertz. You're going to see 21 get blocked right there to open that up.
Yes, it did.
2nd and 2. From the 28. Turn and give. Track squirts through a hole. First down yardage to the 25.
Well, Track picked up about 4 once again. Moving the chains for Cosumnes. A huge drive here. They cannot afford any mistakes. They're looking very good, and of course, Track is carrying them here in this third quarter.
Determined. We're seeing some real fight out of that junior running back. Under center, Bendel, motion down the line. Track working left. Reads the block, and there's not much there.
Well, once again, he's carried the ball here 4 or 5 out of 6 times here, Will, and a little tough when you're trying to turn the corner here and you don't have much blocking in front of you.
Just a 1-yard gain, and you'll see how tough this 1 yard was to earn.
Very much. He's got a pulling tackle in front of him here that stumbles, and he's all on his own, picking up 1.
From the Sheldon 24, Bendel rolls, looks to throw. Sideline route, got a catch. Slick Nick with the grab. Craig, another reception. He had the beauty over the middle late in the first half.
Well, I like that call, and they can run a lot of comebacks and stop routes, and they're not hard to throw. Watch Bent roll out here. As you see Bendel roll out, get the ball off to Craig, and Craig just short of a first down.
3rd and 1 from the 26. Craig is track hit in the backfield and dropped. And you know, I'm really impressed with Fabian Joseph. I was the first time we saw Sheldon against Jesuit. He is an underrated, undersized nose guard, D lineman, and he is active. Number 34.
Watch him make this play right in the backfield, stopping track before he got untracked.
In his tracks. So it brings up 4th and 4 from the 24. Key play here. And a stoppage and a Wolfpack timeout. It comes at the 4:03 late 3rd. And we'll take a break to exhale and come right back to the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Late 3rd quarter. Cosumnes Oaks in trouble, trailing 24-0 to 5th seed Sheldon in this D1 playoff opener. It's the furthest penetration the Wolfpack has had in the game, but they're facing a key 4th down. Van Dyke in motion, and whistles are going to stop play. Time out Sheldon. Gee whiz, Coach. Looks like the Huskies are really going to try hard for a shutout tonight.
I think so. They're very serious about getting it. They don't want to give up a point, and that's fine because as you move on in the playoff competition week after week, you don't want to be one and done.
Well, this is an opening rounder of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section playoffs. Next week, we'll be back at you again, same time, same station, and we'll hold you in suspense at least for 6 or 7 days. But I have a funny feeling we're going to wind up in Fair Oaks a week from tonight.
I think that's very possible. I know of 2 teams that are headed that way.
Which ones?
And it's been a match that maybe everybody's been waiting for. Sacramento and the Del Campo Cougars.
We'll see. Meantime, Bendel on 4th down, rolls left, fire to the sideline. Man wide open. Craig, it looks like, has the catch, and that might be one of those gadgets out of Coach Milgren's pocket that he was wide open and uncovered. How'd that happen?
Well, that's good. That's something.
That was a design play
Well, it had
into
to
his
be.
bag.
He called that during the timeout, and he was wide open.
Another look at that. Now you'll see Craig leaked out and was undetected. Look how open he was. They're shocked. 1st down, key play, well executed from the 8. 1st and goal.
Here it is, wide open.
Roll, throw off balanced, intercepted in the end zone. Well, I'll tell you, Dom Johnson has been all over the field, and he appears to be shaken up on the play. But Bendel, that was ill-advised. And, I don't even want to speculate on Dom Johnson's misfortune here, so I will not. However, he has been dynamite tonight on defense, as a receiver, one of the very skilled senior performers, and the training staff now out to, you see attention to the left ankle area, and we'll leave that up to Dr. Kildare. But here you see our officiating crew headed by Albert Bond. Injuries, very unfortunate and untimely, and I think it's altogether proper to again let people know about Coach Milgren's injured stars. And here's the interception. Now he got hurt right there. He got dragged down and twisted there, it looks like. Craig with the tackle.
That it appears to be the right ankle.
Tough luck. Very tough luck. It comes at 3:27, late third, and Sheldon in full command of this game, 24-0.
Illegal helmet contact on the white team after the interception.
Well, that's definitely something I missed.
Well, that's the second time following an interception that they've called a 15-yarder on Cosumnes following the interception.
Boy, oh boy. There you see Dom Johnson coming off under his own power. Little hitch in his step, but apparently not as damaging and serious as it may have looked initially.
Well, Will, I would like to go back to that play with the pick involved. He rolled left to the near sideline. He had two people open, one very shallow at about 5 yards, and he went to the one that was open briefly about 12 yards away, too late. And Don Johnson really read it and caught it on the run.
He certainly did. First down for the Huskies from their 16. They try to toss and go wide. It's cut off, so cutting it up inside with the carry, Terrell Smith.
Once again, no hurry for Sheldon. They're in a commanding lead. They can run the football. They don't have to throw at Salinas. But I'll tell you tonight, when he does throw, credit that front giving him great protection. And he'll hurt you, hitting Hurts, whether it's Graves or Tyrell Smith out of the backfield, and with that good offensive front.
We also see a fallen Husky here on the sideline as they run wide and getting outside with speed and then being shoved into the Wolfpack bench was Hurts. Perkins active on defense with that tackle, but up along the near sideline for the Huskies, showing discomfort, Oscar Gutierrez here.
Well, Oscar's huge. Oscar's huge in that offense and defense. The fullback can play some linebacker, getting some work done on him.
So Dom Johnson and Gutierrez with apparent leg injuries. Gutierrez looks in some pain there, but he's a tough nut, a starting linebacker and a starting fullback, and I won't speculate on any of that, but he's as tough as nails.
Yeah, I just think it's upper body, and I think he's going to be fine. I'm watching his symptoms.
2nd and 13 upcoming. Football parked at the Sheldon 14 with 2:42 left here in the third quarter. Sheldon cruising, but trying to get out of a hole here. Salinas under center, turn and give, Hurts. Jitterbugs inside and falls forward for maybe a yard, not much there.
Once again, Coach Catalico is content here as you see him staying on the ground, staying very basic, and running his ISO plays, pulling his guards or tackle on whatever is necessary, using the clock wisely, no hurry. Yes, he'd like to move the chains. Dakota Van Dyke with another tackle, and to add to his total, Galavez and he doing a good job at linebacker for the Wolfpack.
3rd and 9. Salinas throwing over the middle, a bullet dropped. Good tight coverage out there. The intended receiver was Michael Graves and defended on the play in the secondary there by Trent Cannon.
Watch Salinas back to pass. He goes to the middle, and really he was pretty well covered there. A little ball, a little behind him. Salinas has been very accurate tonight, and like I said, he's been protected as well as you see them in punt formation.
One of the few times they have to surrender. Dolinar up high for a high snap. Wobbly short spiral, bounding near the 45 of Sheldon and skidding out of bounds near midfield. So Cosumnes Oaks will have terrific field position, but thus far they've been unable to cash in the 4 previous opportunities where they mounted some kind of a drive and then made a mistake.
Well, it seems like they've been their own worst enemy here tonight. Well, they showed that they can move the football, move the chains, etc., and particularly with the running of track. And then they showed some signs in the last drive where they were able to get the football in the hands of either Moore or Craig and move the chains again. The young junior had pretty good success in that last series until he throws the pick. And it just seems that's what's going on with Cosumnes tonight.
Frierson back in on first down. Track sidesteps another man and falls forward for first down yardage. Okay, let's turn it to Rick Stewart. What you got, buddy?
All right, Oscar Jarris is on the sidelines for Sheldon. He's got a lower back issue that's causing him some pain, but he's flat on his back. But I'm not the medical person, but he doesn't look like he's going to be coming back in.
Well, thank you, Dr. Stewart. And with 1:28 and the remaining time sliding away, agonizingly slow for Cosumnes Oaks, Sheldon working with another first down.
Well, it's track, and he seems to be the only one with success as you see him getting off, picking up 4 or 5. And for a guy his size, I'm impressed with how hard he runs. He's got some speed, he's got stop and go, but I'm impressed again after yards after contact when you see him, Will.
I'm impressed too. I misidentified that. It was a first down for the Pack, obviously. So gain of 5, 2nd and 5, less than a minute to go here in the third, 45 seconds, and Frierson winding up. Deep sideline route, well defended and broken up, nearly picked. They were waiting for that. The area was well defended. Into a crowd?
Into a crowd, yes, for sure.
3rd and 5.
He was fortunate that had pick written all over it.
Well, Dylan Junial, who's had some key plays tonight, shows up big here again on this one in the secondary, waiting for it, saw it all the way, and there's the breakup.
As you see, 3 defenders are right in the area.
So 3rd and 5, time's getting tight. Handoff. Track has had a workout, and his line gave him no blocking. Maybe a yard. It's going to bring up 4th and 2 or 3. And that young man could use all the help he can get.
Well, like you said, Will, he's been doing it on his own, certainly. He needs some help up front and downfield blocking as well.
Clock rolling, 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Frierson looks to the sideline. Time slipping away, 10 seconds now. Low snap down to get it, fire left. A grab to the sideline, should have gone out. Well, Moore has the catch. Did he get out of bounds?
Well,
no, he did not.
No, they'll just start the fourth quarter. They did move the chains. That's the most important thing there.
We've played 3 from Sheldon High, hometown sports game of the week. Sheldon rolling. We'll be right back.
What if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
As we move to the fourth quarter here at Sheldon High School, nothing has changed since earlier on. Sheldon Huskies, the number 5 seed in Division I, rolling, playing very well, very steady, mistake-free, and their big players, their impact players have come up big. On the flip side, Cosumnes Oaks has yet really to play their A game. Track now, 117 yards. He has worked hard all evening.
He's been a busy guy, gaining a lot of yards on his own and yards after contact.
1st and 10 from the 20. Frierson looks right all the way, goes out there to track. Nice reception, slips a tackle, bodies up and gets knocked backward near the 10-yard line. And, you know, Dom Johnson, we saw go out with a leg injury. Looked pretty tough on that tackle right there.
Well, he's got the quick recovery power. And picked up 9 on that little swing pass. I like this. Just get the ball and isolate him out in the flat.
Boom, right there, straight up. 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard catch and run. Football at the 11, deepest penetration thus far for the visiting Wolfpack. Down by plenty. Frierson, give it to track, hole off the right side. And then the defense recovers and gang tackles near the 5.
Well, again, if he can get 1 or 2 downfield blocks, he can break one. As you see this.
Take a look at track and watch Corey Perkins, number 4, giving him that little bit of a brush block there. So here we go on 1st and goal from the 4. Again, Wolfpack taking a lot of time between plays. Track straight ahead, near the goal line. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Track from 4 yards out.
Well, we see the Pack get on the scoreboard finally and avoid that shutout, and it was track to the left and track to the right and even catch a couple of passes out of the backfield. Very impressive. This guy plays hard and plays with passion. He comes to play on every down.
Every down. Well said, Imperator. A lot of guts, a lot of courage. And for a junior, that's some nice leadership right there. So it's 24-6. Wolfpack going to go for a pair. And they dispatch Nick Craig wide left and then pull him back in tight. Let's see what they're up to. Frierson wants to throw. Looks left and fires right.
A great catch.
That was Craig making a leaping grab over a defensive effort that was pretty good right there by Ian Moore.
Okay, there you see the touchdown on a previous play where track cracked in there from 4 yards out, and then we went for 2 on the PAT with a great pass in the end zone.
Roughing the quarterback on the defense.
Well,
they get the 2. I guess here we go.
Well, we'll take the 2. It's going to be on the ensuing kickoff is when they'll walk off the penalty. 2-pointer will count.
Make it 24-8 as 8 plays cover 48 yards. And not without difficulty, but credit the Wolfpack for putting together a drive there. Let's see if that can motivate their defense and encourage their defense to play tough. They need stop after stop.
Well, the defense, and the big thing they got to do here, besides the defense rising to the occasion now, they should march off 15, and they ought to be able to put the ball in the end zone. Okay? They got to march off 15 now, and I thought they had a penalty, and it would be on this kickoff. That's the signal we got before.
Well, they're kicking from the Sheldon 45. Is that close enough?
Yeah. I want it closer.
Onside kick. Let's see who wants it. Taken nicely. Boy, what a mob.
Well,
Fabian Joseph comes up big again.
You're kicking from the 45. We ought to be able to get the ball in the end zone.
Well, they're trying for a fluky possession on the onside instead of kicking deep. So we split the screen, and there's our coaching counterparts. Derek Milgren there to the left, Joe Catolico to the right. Contrasting emotion.
Very definitely. The pressure is on Cosumnes to make a stop here.
From the Sheldon 30, 1st and 10, left side running, the time-consuming type, short yardage, but the clock rolls on, and Smith another tough carry.
Well, once again, certainly Coach Catolico's ball club can milk the clock. You see him sending in the plays, trying to use as much as the 25-second count as possible, and I don't blame him. Certainly, he's in control of this football game, and he doesn't want to give the ball back to the pack.
No, mathematical certainty. Clock usage here will probably be precision. Toss, find the daylight and go ahead. Well defended. The Wolfpack defense anticipating run play. And again, that time it's Brown with the carry, his first touch of the game. Downtown Ray Brown. So Van Dyke registers another tackle, but it brings up 3rd and 7 for the Huskies from their 33. Let's see what they want to do with it. Under center, Salinas wants to throw, guns one over the middle, dropped. It was a low throw.
That was
down to get it was Dom Johnson. He just couldn't scoop it.
No, and he was wide open, Will. Wide open. And Salinas low with that and forcing them to punt. Let's take a look at that. Johnson's open, Salinas back to throw, and puts the ball downstairs, and a tough catch. Catchable.
Catchable, knee high. Great protection on that again. So here's the Dolinar punt. End over end. Bobbled away. Man, that was some contact. How did they ever hold on to the football? Track.
Well,
and track and King.
track got level and King recovered. I mean, track got leveled.
This was looky here.
Watch track here.
Right in the breadbasket.
Low. And fortunately, King, number 8, was right there.
He certainly was. And speaking of being right there, also right there was Caleb Ramirez, 26. As you see there, that was nice downfield coverage. Couldn't get much better. So it's a first down for the Pack working from their 35.
Well, they got to start getting these plays over sooner. I just don't like how long the offensive coordinator is taking the call to play when you're down 2 touchdowns.
Frierson guns one, right side. Flare is dropped, incomplete. They were trying to get the football out there to Moore, Jeremiah Moore, incomplete. 2nd and 10, clock stopping, 8:58 to go in this game. Early 4th, but a 24-point deficit hanging over the visiting Wolfpack right now. It's going to be a tough way home. Triple wide receivers to the right, catch-up formation. Craig and Moore to the outside. Telegraphed all the way. Frierson has to run it now to the near side sideline, out of bounds, stop the clock. He makes the 38.
Well, again, that was a good decision. You know, they only got 1 yard or 2 on that, but he didn't throw the ball away. He didn't give up a possession. As you watch him here, he has no one to throw to. He doesn't like it. He flushes the pocket, and now wisely, don't force the ball anywhere. Get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Nice pursuit there. Chased all the way to the sideline by Max Green. And again, a while to get this play underway. Frierson works right, fires on a setup. Well, nice
Another incomplete. The ball is low and away.
Jeremiah Moore, intended receiver, just from what I saw, I'd have to say I would have liked to have seen a little better effort to make that grab.
Well, 4th and 6. Will the Pack gamble here in this field position right now? They have to get a first down. If not, they're going to give the ball back to Sheldon in great field position. This is a big play, Will.
Oh, it is. Craig has been the bright spot in the receiving corps, 52 yards receiving here all in the second half. So he has earned his keep. Big 4th down. Frierson rushed, throws on the run, a low throw.
Not enough to move the chains. He's short about a foot.
Craig had to come back for the football, and they're in trouble. Let's take a look at that.
He was open, Will, and if he gets the ball up, it's a first down.
Oh, man. Well, Craig was doing the limbo rock there, trying to find out how low he could go. Short. They're short, and the ball goes over. Tough luck for the Pack. Nice stop for that Sheldon defense as they'll open shop in Wolfpack territory from the Cosumnes Oaks 44.
Well, once again, here we are at 8:35 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. 24-8 lead for the Huskies here. Let's see if they can put a long drive together here. Here you see them in split backs.
Salinas wants to throw over the middle, wide open, leaking out, undefended on the play. Big first down. And I'll tell you, that was, very well executed on the throw. And Young with the Alex Bermudez.
Alex Bermudez, the tight end, wants a replacement. He's gimping as you see him wide open in the middle. And opens field tackle down there by number 3, Trent Cannon, with a low tackle in the open field and sending the tight end Bermudez out of the ball game. Will.
.8:15 clock rolling as we near midway fourth. First down from the Wolfpack 26. A predictable run, stymied and halted. Nice gang tackle there.
Well, you see Cosumnes trying to strip the ball out. And, of course, right now, Sheldon's got to hold on to the football and protect his lead.
Well, King was in no man's land there.
Oh, face mask, defense.
Okay. Spin the replay dial. What you see there? King in trouble.
There they are trying to strip the ball away.
And there's the face mask with the left hand. And that was Nick Craig. Tough luck. Excellent performer. Probably was non-intentional. Well, there's the walk-off. Deeper into Wolfpack territory.
Well, here's where the Wolfpack have got to rise to the occasion. They have to. They're down 24-8, 7 minutes of clock time remaining. They've got to make a stop here or cause a takeaway.
So, Salinas under center. They go wide left, get around the corner near the goal line. Touchdown, Huskies. What a determined run by Hertz, but a penalty flag is out. The touchdown will be waved off. holding the call. And here's our call from Albert Bond. Thanks, Albert.
Holding. Offense. Spot foul, 10 yards. Still first down.
So they park the football at the 22 on a 1st and 20 upcoming after the hold. I don't think we've seen this formation before.
No, this is something different here. It's an overshift strong to the wide side. They got an unbalanced line and then a backfield heavy, what we call heavy, to the unbalanced side, and it didn't seem like there was any movement on the defense. Tyrell Smith there picking up a couple of tough yards, Will.
Well, he's had a steady game. Their ball control offense has consumed the clock, and he's had a number of successful and important running plays to certainly, reinforce his claim as their top running back.
Well, as we get ready to select, and it's not an easy job picking the MVP of these two teams, Will. However, some of the unsung heroes are these 5 up front: Sheldon, Blockers, Barrett, Middleton, Lemos, Lewis, and Garrett. They've been solid all night, run blocking and protecting Salinas. We can't forget those 5.
Cannot. Well said, Coach. That offensive line came through.
Oh, encroachment, offense.
Both pass blocking and run blocking. And on the other side of the football, a number of excellent defensive players, including Sam Brooks.
Sam Brooks, outstanding player, certainly on the defensive side.
2nd and 18, they give it to Hurts. He's trying to go wide, strung out, cut back, flag flies. Well, another holding call is going to help destroy this drive by the Huskies, but they are in full command on top 24-8.
Block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Thanks, Albert. So they put the football at the 30 with clock rolling, 6.5 to go here as we have reached midway 4th in a ball game that has a predictable finish, Coach.
Well, certainly, as you see the Huskies come over the football once again, unless they surprise the defense with a pass, I see them running the football straight at them.
Quick opener, left side, all the way, touchdown, Huskies. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, Salinas was all by himself. That was some tremendous deception.
Well, I love it because he ran that bootleg to perfection with a great fake to his backs and then took it all by himself, what we call a naked boot. He didn't even have anybody pulling that I could see. I didn't see a guard pulling. I didn't see a tackle pulling. He took it on that naked bootleg, and I'll tell you, that was well designed, a terrific call from the bench, and then executed perfectly.
Jack Dolinar on for the PAT. Spotted, booted, got the distance, got the accuracy. 31-8 as the Huskies strike again, courtesy of their quarterback, who leaks out here, Salinas, a sideline ride. We'll be right back.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot. but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
Well, junior quarterback Francisco Salinas certainly added some extra icing atop the cake here with a 30-yard run untouched down the far sideline for another Sheldon score. And it should be noted that we have completed our ballots for the players of the game, which will be identified because Rick Stewart will be interviewing them in our post-game segment. Had a lot of choices, but no doubt we got a couple of doozies.
I think so. I think that it wasn't an easy choice because we had some outstanding performances by a number of players here tonight.
Line drive kickoff taking on one bounce. Perkins trying to find some daylight. He's got big speed outside and hit out of bounds right in front of his own bench as he was able to scoot all the way to the 35 or so. That was some speed.
Perkins with a nice run back. He kind of came up the field, picking his way, looking for a running lane.
Well, he found it too. So they open with good field position from their 33. And we'll see how head coach Derek Milgren wants to finish out the remainder of this game with his play calling. Triple wide receivers to the left. Frierson roll and throw. He's got Craig between three defenders who puts a nice little sidestep move and gets an extra 5 out of it.
Well, right now, they got to take advantage of this, and I know they're behind 31-8, but what Sheldon is giving them, they're playing very soft, almost on that last one, almost a prevent. Let's see if they go back to their standard defense because they were giving Cosumnes all the room in the world and yielding to the 10, 15-yard passes. Let's see how they play this down.
19 yards on that catch and throw. Now they go out to Craig on the other side, and he fights ahead before he's driven out of bounds, crossing the Sheldon 40.
Well, once again, moving the chains again, and you know, we look at this and we say, gee, why didn't they run these plays earlier? It's simply the D is giving them a lot of cushion here.
Absolutely. Well recognized. Those open spaces were not available earlier in the game. So they park it at the 37. Gain of 12 on that play. Track is blasted before he can take a step. And defensive end, you know, they've got the green sandwich going on either side of Fabian Joseph on that D line. That time Jet Green had the stop for the 5-yard loss.
Properly named Jet Green and Max Green, I'll tell you. And then they got anchored by one of the top nose guards in the league, Joseph.
No doubt they have played steady. Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Heavy pressure, he throws to Track. Little open field in front of him before he's gathered and dropped, crossing the Sheldon 35.
Well, the clock ticking away with 4 minutes and change. And once again, when that clock is moving, they've got to get these plays in. You're behind, and you can't be using 20, 25 seconds of the play clock.
No doubt, no doubt. Clock's at 4:10. Draw play, well done, but that defense recovers very, very quickly. Joseph and Brooks sealed that up.
Well, here we are now in a 4th and a long 5, almost 6. A key call coming up for the Wolfpack. Let's see what they've got going here.
I think they'll do okay. There's no pressure now. Roll right this time. Frierson sets up, guns one, picked. Wow. How about that? You know, Smith just covered that ground. He read it like a book. No problem from Terrell Smith with the interception.
And normally he hasn't played that much secondary.
Another look at this defensive coverage.
Frierson going to the sideline. Excellent play by Smith. Actually, the receiver was fronted and covered on the back end.
Jeremiah Moore, the intended receiver, but the ball never got there. Well defended. So another turnover, and with 3:33 to go, I'll be stunned if Sheldon just doesn't run the football play after play, and there they bite off about 6 on first down.
Well,
as they go to Smith again.
When you throw 3 interceptions in a night, at least 3, certainly you're giving the other team 3 more possessions than they normally have. And I'm sure the coaches are figuring, hey, we're going to try to get at least 8 possessions during the night, 2 a quarter. But then if you're going to give us 3 more possessions, we have, or more chances to score more points.
There's a run play up the middle by Smith. That's 4 interceptions. 2 by Dom Johnson. Moore had 1, and Smith just got 1.
4. Well, correct my math, yes. 4 for the night. Anytime you throw 4 in a night, my goodness, that's gonna hurt you bad. It's on top of it, it's a morale factor when you're giving up possession of the football.
Certainly is. Right now, the clock showing 2.5, clock rolling, and further playoff hopes for the Wolfpack dimming proportionately. Timeout taken at 2:24, and we will come right back after this short pause for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot, but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
Well, we're coming down the stretch in this Division I opening round playoff game in the CIF Sac-Joaquin section. Les Schwab Tires football championships, and host Sheldon playing superbly tonight at home, putting finishing touches on a fine all-around team performance as they lead it here 31-8 in the final couple minutes.
Well, as we come down the wire here, the important thing is they stay healthy and come out of this game with little to no serious injuries, hopefully, so Sheldon can move on in that bracket and face the winner of St. Mary's Edison. And certainly Sheldon is very capable of moving on. They're going to move on to the second round, of course, and look forward to move on further on.
So mere formality here on a 2nd and 8 with clock rolling and 1.5 minutes to go roughly. Time-consuming plays in open field running. A nice cut. Look out to the races, to the house. The big back. Take it all the way. Tajon King. Woo, daddy.
That's the big fella broke one. You know, we've watched him run real tough and aggressively inside. I don't think anyone figured he'd go to coast. 67 yards.
Yes, This deserves another look. The big man. Look at this line blocking. Big hole. I might have got through there.
Wow, yes.
And then the speed after the power.
Wow. Look at this. He's stretching it out.
He stretched it. Dolinar getting a real workout tonight. On for the PAT. Spotted, booted, a bomb. Got it. 1:25 left in this one. And King really showed some stuff on this. Take a look.
Look at King here. Now he turns it on. He shows good speed for a big fella.
Well, a little less than a minute and a half to go in this one, but we've got another assignment 1 week from tonight. And a little suspense here in knowing exactly where we're going. All the results have not yet come on, but I think we'll be out in Fair Oaks for that anticipated matchup with the Sac-High Dragons taking on undefeated Del Campo.
Well, it appears that way, and we haven't gotten a score yet on the Sacramento game. They're entertaining Wood High School over on the Dixon campus tonight.
I have no idea why, and it doesn't surprise me because this year we have seen some less than ordinary situations. 80 yards in just over 2 minutes, the last scoring drive, 67 on the big run. Bounding kickoff, taken on the run. The big guy, wow. Williams, who's getting more work offensively and defensively, Justin Williams. Nice run back as we've reached the 120 mark, and we'll see what Derek Milgram wants to do with his Wolfpack offense.
All the clock winding down, and they're once again waiting for a play call coming in from the sidelines. The Wolfpack waiting here, and probably their last shot to put something on the scoreboard.
Nice running in the open field. Boy, oh boy, you know, there's no quit. Not a bit of quit in track.
One block away from going all the way on that one, Will. Let's have another look at that. As you see Frierson back to pass. He goes over the middle to Track. Watch Track make a move here. He's done it all tonight.
No, superb right there. He made two slight changes of direction. Here's the quick hit to Track right side, and he's dropped. Well covered out there on the perimeter and shut down beautifully on the play by Terrell Smith. So on the pass reception, they lose 2. Left side running, Track hit and dropped just outside the 20. So he's picking up some more receiving yards. Track has had the all-around ball game. That's at least 3 receptions for him tonight, but a penalty might just wipe this out.
Well, he's had a phenomenal game. He's been their sole guy. Just look at this, 124 yards on the ground, and we don't have quite his passing stats, but I could tell you he's probably having close to a 200-yard night, counting both running and pass receptions.
And their only touchdown.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard foul from the end of the run.
Thanks, Albert. So another penalty here. 19 seconds remaining. And scores from around the area indicate that Del Campo is atop Buhawk Colony in the fourth quarter, 50-14. Perhaps the last play of the game, and it is the last play of the game. Frierson dropped And this one is in the book, a 38-8 victory for Joe Catolico's number 5 seed Sheldon Huskies, defending home field. And looking at the bracket, what does that mean? Forgive me, I stand corrected. A number 6 seed, Sheldon, taking care of business, as they say.
Well, they certainly have, and they're waiting for the outcome of the St. Mary's Edison game. And Sheldon will go on the second round to face either St. Mary's or Edison on round 2 of Division I.
Well, a hard-fought game, but a one-sided outcome as the Sheldon Huskies come up big at home, play steady, mistake-free football, and the result is a resounding 38-8 shellacking of the visiting Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack. You saw the sportsmanship on the field, and the jubilant Sheldon Huskies not over-exaggerating their happiness. They were anticipating playing well today, and they did. Don't walk off, because we've got a lot more ahead on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week post-game show. Rick Stewart will be visiting with our players of the game and winning coach Joe Catolico, so you won't want to miss that. We'll be right back for more.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening at Sheldon High School, where tonight, in a Division I opening round playoff game, the host Sheldon Huskies came up big in all areas and all regards, and tonight handily defeated visiting Cosumnes Oaks 38-8, playing very, very tight, sharp football. Coach Domino, typical of a Joe Catolico coached ball club.
Very typical. they line up in that eye. And tonight they use other formations and certainly dominated the line of scrimmage with a great offensive blocking, protecting the quarterback as well in the passing game. So you saw a complete game, and also they have the speed to break some big plays, which they did, including that opening kickoff.
Now, that set the tone, and they didn't rest on that laurel. They just kept constantly pouring it on. Well, we have picked our players of the game and a couple of dazzling performances in tonight's playoff opener. Certainly well-deserved. Jacob Track, the junior running back for the Wolfpack, a superlative performance, registering 124 tough yards and their ball club's only touchdown. And for host Sheldon, Dom Johnson on both sides of the football, a spectacular performance as well. 2 pass interceptions, and on the receiving end of a 70-yard touchdown connection. Rick Stewart is standing by with our players of the game. Rick?
All righty, I'm here with Jacob Track. Jacob, not the ending you wanted for the season, but you guys played strong all year long. What was the key out there today that they were doing that didn't allow you guys to break loose?
They were just playing extremely hard every play. Like, they did not give up, and we fought back, but I guess it wasn't enough.
Now, you've had 2 really good years, last year, this year. Your numbers are tremendous. What's the secret for you to pile those numbers up?
Well, it's just following the blocks. The blocks are key. Both years, as linemen have been amazing. Coaching scheme is there, and just find the holes and go.
Now, you were just an arm tackle and just a little brush tackle away several times tonight from breaking loose. It must have hurt.
Well, it happens every game. Usually holes aren't there or tackles happen, but then you just have to be patient and hopefully one breaks out.
All right. Well, congratulations on the year you've had. Best of luck next year in your senior year. You're going to run wild next year, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck. All right. Thanks, Jacob. All right, Dom Johnson. Touchdown in the second half to start the scoring. It broke their back.
I just follow what my teammates do. I really just give it up to them because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to score. So thanks to my linemen, honestly.
Now, you're playing both ways. You're playing both offense and defense. What was the key out there on defense for you guys to be able to shut them down?
We just had to execute on their run because their running back that we just seen, he's pretty good. Like, he's only a junior, so we just had to execute on him, and once we knew we executed on him, we had the game.
All your big fellas scored tonight. All the marquee players. The line play was where it needed to be too. But the marquee players all stepped up and did what they needed.
Yeah. All we had to do was execute. Coach been preaching that to us for the whole week. Execute, and we should win the game, no doubt about it.
All right. Well, good luck next week, whoever you play. It looks like it's going to be same areas. All right, God. All right, Coach. Good playoff game. Tremendous score. I mean, you guys, your defense stopped them.
I thought our defense did a great job. I thought that was really the key to the ball game. They got some explosive kids and some good offensive weapons, and I thought our defense did a great job. I thought that was the key.
Was there anything special you did?
You know what? We tried to prepare for the stuff. Obviously, it was a short week, so we didn't maybe get as much preparation as we wanted, but I thought we tried to take away some of the things we did well, and we gave up some yards, but obviously not a lot of points, and I think that was critical.
All the big guys, all the marquee names, your players are Hurts and Salinas and Dom Johnson. I mean, everybody stepped up and did what you needed to. Nobody had 5 touchdowns or anything. Everybody did their part.
Right. I think it was a good team effort to beat a good football team, and obviously we're going to have to keep getting better if we want to keep going forward.
All right. Well, you got St. Mary's, it looks like, by the brackets next week. So, any pre-thoughts on them?
No. You know what? I know they're awfully good, and we're excited at the opportunity to get to go down there and play a ball game against them for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for spending some time with us, Coach, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach. All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs to you.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. Certainly a wonderful all-around performance, and I know how much, Coach Domino, you appreciate terrific offensive line blocking to open up the holes that the running backs get the glorified coverage, but that line today and tonight was absolutely effective and made it easy for Terrell Smith and others.
It certainly did. It made it easy for Smith and Hurts and King, etc. And that front 5 particularly, and then I'll include Bermudez, the tight end, Barrett, Middleton, Lemos, Lewis, Garrett, opened up holes all night and also protected Salinas tonight where he had time to throw.
That was the key. The offensive line, pass blocking and run blocking very, very effectively, to the extent that we had a 38-8 final, and it was justified based on the execution throughout the entire ball game.
Well, it certainly was, and they used that clock wisely, but they mixed it up early with Salinas' passing game, and he looked certainly a lot more poised tonight than he did 4 weeks ago versus Jesuit.
This very well may be Francisco Salinas' finest performance of the entire year, and comes at a clutch time with playoff pressure. And for a junior QB to lead his team that way, of course his supporting cast was marvelous, but got to give Salinas a ton of credit, and he looked like an entirely different player from the previous game we saw versus Jesuit.
Well, certainly he's got another year to play next year, and I'm sure that Coach Catolico is looking forward to having him, and he's a leader on top of his physical ability.
He is indeed, and that attribute will just increase as he continues to compile more game experience. But for Sheldon, it's on to the second round. Don't know quite yet who they'll face, and tough luck for Coach Milgren and his younger Wolfpack. They'll have their day again, and he's had actually 4 very successful years since taking over for Scooter Gomes.
Well, he certainly has, and once again, he made the playoffs. He's made 4, I believe, 4 for 4. And, he was a little down with returning people this year in a very, very tough CVC league. And when you got to go against the Whitneys and Del Campos and Antelopes, etc., week in, week out, that's a tough road to have.
Very tough road, but they've been successful in doing that. Tonight wasn't their night, but they'll have their day down the road. It was the night, though, for Joe Catolico's Huskies, and they'll move on as they normally do at this stage of the playoffs. So that's the way it shakes out this evening here in Division I opening round playoff action of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Les Schwab Tires Football Championships. In a big way, the host Sheldon Huskies take care of business and home field advantage with the one-sided victory over Cosumnes Oaks. Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew wish to extend their appreciation to the Sheldon High School administration, particularly Athletic Director Denise Aguilar, for their cooperation and assistance with the broadcast arrangements for this television production. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Jim Domino, Rick Stewart, Game Director Ronicia Harris, pinch hitting as our statistician Dave Larson, and our entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, we thank you for joining us, and as always, look forward to the next occasion when we can get together. I'm Will James. So long for now. We'll catch up with you in 1 week's time. Good night.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television.